Thank you so much for joining me as I recommend 15 must-have Nintendo Switch physical games to buy now for $30 and under. And the reason why I'm saying you might want to buy these games now is because a lot of them are going for cheaper than they've ever been with all the Black Friday and holiday sales deals going on. Just like the first game that I'm going to talk about, which is Super Mario RPG. Now, this game popped up on GameStop's Nintendo Black Friday sales flyer, and they're going to be selling this for only $30 starting on November 23rd all the way up to November 29th. Now, this is a really good, solid RPG. You can beat it on the short side, only around like 15 hours. You can spend a bit more time playing it if you want to grind a little extra, do more of the side content, the extra bosses, end game content, and all of that. But I did have fun playing this, and I do love the combat system, how it uses kind of like the timed button presses. If you time the button presses at the right time during the combat for attacks, you'll deal more damage. And you can also avoid attacks, dodge attacks, if you press your buttons at the right time during combat as well. A really good game that I would highly recommend picking up for just $30 if you don't have this in your Nintendo Switch collection already. Next up, you can buy The Messenger for cheaper than it's ever been physically at only $15. And this is a really interesting physical Nintendo Switch game release because for the longest time, it was only made by one of these limited print companies, not limited run. I don't know if it was Special Reserve Games, one of these companies, and the physical copy was going for hundreds of dollars on the resale market. It got a reprint at only $30, a standard retail release, and now it's down to just $15 with these limited time sales going on. You can get it on Amazon right now. I'll go ahead and put the link in the description of the video if you're interested in buying it. That would also help support the channel a little bit too. I would really appreciate that. But this game is an old school kind of 2D platformer. I hear it starts as a standard 2D platformer, and then it opens up and it becomes like a Metroidvania in like the second half of the game. It's got pretty good reviews, good reception. I've heard it's one of the best 2D old school style platformer games on the Nintendo Switch. I haven't played it myself. As you can see, my copy is still sealed here. But some other great physical games that I want to recommend are Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. Now, this is a fantastic beat 'em up. You can play with up to 4 players co-op, so it's a great game to play with friends and family around the holidays. I bought it at full price for $35, and I don't regret my purchase. It is a really good beat 'em up if you're into the genre. Kind of plays similar to Shredder's Revenge, but it does have some different gameplay mechanics mixed in because on top of the beat 'em up stages, you do have some on-rails shooter stages that are pretty fun. They can get pretty challenging. And then you have the, I think it's called the Megazord battles where you're like in the giant mech Power Ranger thing fighting enemies. I mean, the gameplay in that isn't that cool to me, but it's cool fan service for Power Rangers games. And this one is down right now to $25. The game is only like 2 to 3 hours long, so keep that in mind. But if that doesn't bother you, it's at the cheapest price that it's ever been physically right now. And Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection is another fantastic Nintendo Switch game that I can highly recommend. You get all kind of arcade fighting games in here that are a lot of fun to play, multiplayer or a single player. For only $25 it's going for right now on Amazon. I'll go ahead and put the link in the video description if you want to pick this one up that way. No pressure there though, but this is a good game that I highly recommend at this price point. I think I bought it for full price at like $50. Maybe I was dumb for doing that, but hey, it does come. I don't know if they're still making them with the comic, but I know at least at launch, it came with a little bonus comic as well, which is really cool for physical collectors out there. And then another top tier RPG that I have to admit I haven't played yet, but I did pick it up physically, is Persona 5 Royal. This is a turn-based RPG. Supposed to be a pretty long game, like a 100-hour RPG. I have played the Shin Megami Tensei games, and I do really like those games. So I hear these games are similar to that, but they're more story-driven, much more dialogue-heavy. This is going for just $30 right now on Amazon. Who knows, maybe it'll get cheaper with all these Black Friday deals that are going on. But a game that's similar to it that I have played that I just want to mention as an honorable mention in this video is Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. This is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Definitely one of my favorites on the Nintendo Switch. I think it is even the Steelbook version that's going for like, what, $32 on Amazon. That's why I'm saying I'm not putting it officially a part of this list, but it is an honorable mention. Who knows, maybe it'll get cheaper within the next coming week. But the turn-based gameplay mechanics in this game are top tier. They're really in-depth. It can be a really challenging game. There's a lot of exploration. It's a monster collecting RPG. It's definitely on the more mature side. I might not even show any gameplay because of that, because YouTube restricts videos now if you put trailers, you know, that aren't even restricted. But if you put them in your video, it could hurt your video. So maybe I won't show any gameplay for it, but it is a fantastic RPG, has a phenomenal soundtrack, a really solid story as well. I'd say it's like a 9 out of 10 type of RPG that I highly recommend picking it up if you're into this kind of game. Real quick, before I continue to recommend some of the best Nintendo Switch physical games to buy right now at great prices, I would just like to ask, if you're enjoying the video, please hit the like and hype buttons. That would really help me out in the algorithm and also help shed some more light on these games for more people out there. But the next couple of games that I want to recommend, I'm only recommending because they're at great prices and they are supposed to be great games. I haven't played or bought them myself though. But the first one is The Plucky Squire, and that's only going for $15 right now for the standard Nintendo Switch physical version. The deluxe edition, which comes with some more physical goodies, is also only going for $25. The game does look really cool. It kind of has this storybook type of graphics going on where you actually go into a book for 2D sections and then you come out and you're like a little character in this world in these 3D areas. It does look like a really fun platformer style game, just like another game that I want to recommend that's only going for $20 right now, which is Legacy of Kain 1+2 Remastered. This is supposed to be a collection of two classic action adventure kind of platformer style games. I think they're from like the PS2 era. Haven't played them myself, but if you're interested in these games at these prices, I highly do recommend buying them right now. And of course, if anything is available on Amazon for these prices, I'll have them linked in the video description. Pac-Man World Repac is one of the most solid platformers that you can play on the Nintendo Switch. I wouldn't say one of the best, but this is a solid platformer, like a 7 or 8 out of 10 type of game. Just like Pac-Man World Repac 2, I haven't played or bought that one yet. It hasn't gotten any discounts, but you can get it right now for the Nintendo Switch 1 or 2 for only $30. And I am kind of curious to see if it's going to get a price drop within the next week with all the Black Friday deals going on. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is another fantastic beat 'em up that I just have to recommend. You can get the standard physical copy right now for less than $30, and there are other versions of this game that come with DLC and stuff included, but those versions are going to run you more for around $40, I believe. But the standard version even does come with a manual, reversible cover artwork. And I think there's enough here to enjoy in the standard version to recommend picking this up at less than $30. Just like Double Dragon Gaiden. Now, I think you can get this for maybe between $20 and $30 on Amazon right now. And this is a really fantastic beat 'em up with enough content to enjoy, tons of characters to unlock. It only has 4 stages, but you can play them in any order that you want. So it kind of makes it fresh that way, because whichever stage you play last, that's the boss battle that you're going to have last. That will be different. You can also place this game with some roguelike mechanics mixed in here. When you get game over, you can choose to just take your currency for another game, or you can use it to continue here. It is a pretty fun, solid game. Just like Fight and Rage, which is another really fun beat 'em up that I highly recommend picking up for the Nintendo Switch right now at $30. I believe it's $30 on Amazon and Video Games Plus right now. If you like games like Streets of Rage 4, I would highly recommend this one. To me, this is arguably one of the best beat 'em ups in the modern era. 3 different playable characters. It does have unlockable characters for some side content modes as well, up to 3-player co-op. The style of the graphics looks very old school, but the beat 'em up mechanics are top tier in this game. This is definitely one of my favorite beat 'em ups of all time, and for the Nintendo Switch. Disney Classics game collection. I have a lot of nostalgia for Aladdin and The Lion King, having played these games for the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo as a kid. It also has the Jungle Book. I believe you have to download this one, but the other 2 should be on the cartridge, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't played this in a while, but this is going for just $20 on Amazon for 3 classic 2D platformers. You get the Genesis versions and the Super Nintendo versions. I do highly recommend picking these games up, just like I highly recommend picking up the Doink Soft collection. I saw this on Amazon going for, I think it was 25 or 30. And I do want to note that it was the European version though, but I've noticed that this game really isn't showing up at retailers anymore, at least not right now from what I can see. It may be getting a bit harder to find, but I really love Gunbrella on this collection. It's a classic story-driven 2D platformer. You kind of play as a detective. Really good game. I really like the shooter mechanics in that, and it does have 2 other games as well: Gato Roboto and what's the third one called? Demon Throttle. I haven't really played the other 2, but it does come with 3 games, all on the cartridge, so I can definitely highly recommend this for $25 to $30. Just like I can highly recommend Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remaster for just $25 right now on Amazon. Another one I haven't played, but I did pick up just because I know how much my cousin enjoyed this game. It has to be a really good RPG if I saw him dedicate his whole freshman year of high school to playing this game. This game was his life. He lived and breathed this game. I know if he would ever watch this video, he'd probably get a kick out of me saying that. But yeah, I never played it, but I'm glad to have this in my collection. And at just $25, I would highly recommend picking this one up. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button, and I will definitely catch you all on the next one.